All right, welcome back to another deep dive with us.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
Today we're going to be looking at something a little
A
different.
little bit niche, maybe.
Yeah, but trust me on this one.
Oh, yeah.
There's some seriously useful stuff here for anyone really who wants to build a really strong online presence.
Mm-hmm.
You ready to dive in?
Absolutely.
Okay, so we're talking about comic book store websites.
That's right.
We found this really interesting article called Essential Features for Engaging and Profitable Comic Book Store Websites.
This is a mouthful.
It is, yeah. It's from an Australian web design company called Site Design Now.
And they really know their stuff.
Yeah, and you might be thinking, okay, comic book stores, what's that got to do with me?
Right, if you don't actually own one.
Yeah, exactly. But stick with us.
Because there are actually some really valuable insights here.
About creating, like a really engaging digital space for your business.
And no matter what it is.
Totally. Okay, so the first thing the article really hammers home is this idea of comprehensive comic book listings.
Uh-huh. And it's not just about having a lot of comics listed.
Right.
It's about making them easy to find.
Okay, so what does that look like? Like, how do you actually do that?
Well, think about it like this.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine you walk into a comic book store.
Okay.
Everything is perfectly organized,
Mm-hmm.
Clear categories, maybe even like helpful staff recommendations.
Right.
And those, eye-catching displays that just pull you in.
Okay, yeah.
That's the kind of experience you want to recreate online.
Mm-hmm.
So you need well-designed filters,
Yeah.
powerful search functions
Okay.
that can understand like comic book lingo,
I like that.
and then just visually appealing layouts that showcase those awesome covers.
So it's like having like a virtual comic book guru
Right.
guiding you through the digital stacks.
Exactly.
Love it. Okay, now the article also talks about intuitive shopping.
Yeah, because finding the comic is only half the battle, right?
Right.
You got to make it super easy for people to actually buy it.
So true.
We're talking smooth checkout, multiple payment options,
Mm-hmm.
and it's got to work perfectly on any device.
Oh, tell me about it.
Have you had a bad experience?
Oh, man. One time I was trying to buy this limited edition art book online,
Oh, yeah.
and the checkout process was a nightmare. Like, I felt like I was navigating a labyrinth blindfolded.
I hate when that happens.
I know, right? And by the time I finally found the confirm purchase button, the book was sold out.
The worst.
So frustrating.
Yeah, and that's why intuitive web design is so important,
Mm-hmm.
especially now with, everyone shopping on their phones.
Totally.
People expect a seamless experience
Mm-hmm.
no matter what device they're using.
Yeah.
And of course, security is huge.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
People need to feel confident that their information is safe.
Absolutely.
So yeah, it's about more than just having a shopping cart. It's about creating a whole ecosystem
Yeah.
that makes buying a breeze.
Okay, now this next one I thought was really interesting because it talks about subscriptions.
Oh yeah, this is a big one.
The article says it's a win-win for both the comic book stores and their customers.
Absolutely. For comic book fans, subscriptions are a lifeline.
Right.
They guarantee you never miss a crucial issue in your favorite series.
Oh, I know, right? Imagine missing that, epic showdown or that shocking plot twist.
Oh, it'd be devastating.
Don't even get me started. I'm still kicking myself for missing that one issue where redacted for spoilers.
Oh no, I won't make you relive that.
Yeah, it's rough.
But, subscriptions they're more than just convenience.
Oh, okay.
They really tap into this, psychology of anticipation,
Yeah.
They create this sense of belonging, like you're part of an exclusive club.
Okay.
And for the business, it's, predictable, recurring revenue.
Right.
And it builds that deep customer loyalty.
Totally. It's a win-win all around.
For sure.
Okay, so we've talked about finding the comics, buying them easily, and even setting up a subscription for, the ultimate fan experience.
Yeah, we've covered the basics.
A real comic book store, it's more than just transactions, right?
Oh, absolutely. It's about the community,
Mm-hmm.
the events, the shared passion.
Yeah.
And the article really stresses that you got to bring that energy online, too. And a dynamic event calendar is key for that.
Tell me more about that, what kind of events?
Well, we're not just talking about in-person events.
Okay.
It could be like virtual book launches,
Mm-hmm.
where you can chat with creators from all over the world,
Cool.
online auctions for, rare collectibles,
Oh, wow.
or even virtual Comic Cons,
Okay.
where fans can connect and just geek out over their favorite universes.
No, that's bringing the comic book store experience to life online.
That's the goal. It's about creating that same buzz and excitement.
Right. It's not just about browsing and buying. It's about, like, immersing yourself in that world.
Exactly.
Okay. Now, this next point kind of surprised me.
What's that?
The article talks about the importance of a blog as a secret weapon for comic book stores.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, wait, do comic book stores need SEO too? Like, I thought that was just for big corporations.
It's a common misconception.
Right.
But even a niche business like a comic book store can really benefit from SEO.
Really?
Oh, yeah. In fact, it can be a game changer.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
Well, think about it. Passionate fans are always searching for information about their favorite comics.
Right.
Creators,
Yeah.
storylines.
Yeah.
So if you're creating valuable content like reviews, interviews, industry news,
Okay.
you're not just keeping your customers engaged, you're attracting new ones.
So even a comic book store needs to be thinking about search engine optimization.
Absolutely.
Mind blown. But how do they make sure they're not lost, in the vast sea of content online?
Right, and that's where the blog comes in.
Okay.
It's about content marketing and SEO.
I'm still not quite getting it. Break it down for me.
Okay, so let's say someone searches for best Batman comics of all time.
Okay.
Or interview with insert famous comic book writer.
Right.
You want your website to pop up at the top of the results.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah,
Of course.
that's SEO.
Okay.
It's about strategically using keywords and creating content that answers the questions comic book fans are already asking online.
Oh, okay. So it's like you're making your website a go-to resource for all things comics.
Exactly. You're positioning yourself as the expert, the thought leader,
I like that.
the trusted source of information and entertainment.
So it's like building this little corner of the internet where comic book lovers can all geek out together.
Precisely.
This is making me think about all the different ways businesses can create that sense of community online.
Yeah, it's not just about having a flashy website.
Right.
It's about creating a space where people feel connected.
You're absolutely right. It's about fostering that sense of belonging, whether it's through shared interests, engaging content, or interactive features. And that's something any business can learn from, even if they're not selling comic books.
Absolutely. The principles of community building and online engagement are universal.
So what does this all mean for you, dear listener? You might not be building a comic book empire, but think about your own online presence.
Yeah, how do these ideas translate to your business or your brand?
What's one thing from today's deep dive that you could apply to your website or social media? Could you improve your search function, start a blog, host a virtual event?
It's about finding ways to connect with your audience, offer them value, and make them feel like they're part of something special.
And maybe that's the real takeaway here.
What's that?
The passion and expertise you find in a great comic book store, that's what makes any online community thrive.
Yeah, think about the comic book stores you love.
Yeah.
They're more than just places to buy comics, right? They're hubs for fans to connect, share their excitement, and discover new worlds. That's the kind of energy you want to create online.
It's like that old saying, if you build it, they will come.
Right.
But in this case, it's more like, if you build it with passion and authenticity, they will come and stay.
I love that.
And that's what we're all about here, right?
Yeah.
Building something real, something lasting.
Absolutely.
Something that makes a difference.
Yeah.
All right, so we've covered a lot of ground in this first part of our deep dive.
We have.
And I'm already buzzing with ideas.
Me too.
But before we get too carried away, let's take a quick break.
Yeah, let's regroup.
And when we come back, we'll dive even deeper into these concepts
Sounds good.
and explore some real-world examples of comic book stores that are absolutely killing it online.
I can't wait.
We'll be right back.
Exactly. It's not just about attracting visitors, it's about cultivating a loyal following. And that takes more than just a well-designed website. It takes genuine engagement and a commitment to fostering a sense of community.
So true. Now, I've been thinking about something you said earlier about comprehensive listings. You mentioned powerful search functions that understand comic book lingo. What does that even look like?
Well, imagine a search bar that doesn't just look for titles, but can also understand things like publishers, story arcs, even character appearances.
Okay.
So if you're looking for that one issue where Spider-Man teamed up with Wolverine, you could actually search for Spider-Man Wolverine Team Up and find it, even if you don't remember the exact title or issue number.
That's incredible. It's like having a comic book encyclopedia built right into the search bar.
It is. And some sites even take it a step further. They use AI-powered recommendation engines that suggest comics based on your reading history or your favorite genres and characters.
Wow, so it's not just about making comics easy to find, it's about anticipating what readers want and guiding them to their next great read.
Exactly. It's about creating a personalized experience that makes each visitor feel like they're walking into their own private comic book haven.
Now, let's talk about those online events, because I think this is where things get really interesting. You mentioned virtual book launches and Comic Cons, but how do you actually translate the energy and excitement of a live event to the digital world?
That's a great question.
Mm.
And it's a challenge that many businesses are grappling with. But there are some really innovative approaches out there.
Like what?
For example, some comic book stores are hosting live Q&A, as with creators, using platforms like Twitch or YouTube Live where fans can interact with their idols in real time and ask questions.
I love that. It's like bringing the convention floor right to your living room.
Exactly. And it creates a sense of intimacy and immediacy that you can't always get at a physical event. Plus, it allows fans from all over the world to participate no matter where they live.
So it's actually breaking down geographical barriers and creating a more inclusive community?
Exactly. And some stores are even taking it a step further by hosting virtual reality events where fans can actually walk around a virtual Comic-Con, browse digital booths, and interact with other attendees in a 3D environment.
Wow, that's taking things to a whole new level. It's like stepping into the pages of your favorite comic book.
It is, and it shows how technology can be used to create truly immersive and engaging experiences online.
Okay, now I have to ask about the blog because I'm still wrapping my head around the idea that a comic book store needs SEO.
I get it. It seems counterintuitive. But think about it this way. A blog allows you to showcase your expertise, your passion for comics, and your unique perspective. It's a platform for you to educate, entertain, and connect with your audience on a deeper level.
So it's not just about plugging new releases, it's about creating content that adds value to the lives of comic book fans.
Exactly. And that's what Google loves when it comes to SEO. Google wants to see websites that are providing valuable and relevant content that answers people's questions and helps them solve problems.
So by writing blog posts about things like the history of Marvel Comics or how to collect comic books on a budget, you're actually attracting people who are actively searching for that information online.
Exactly. You're essentially becoming a magnet for comic book enthusiasts who are looking for guidance, inspiration, and community.
And that's what it's all about, right? Building a community around a shared passion.
Precisely. A blog allows you to cultivate that sense of community online by providing a platform for discussion, debate, and shared experiences.
So it's not just about attracting new customers, it's about deepening the relationships you have with existing ones.
Exactly. And that's where the real magic happens. When you create a space where people feel seen, heard, and valued, they're more likely to stick around, become loyal fans, and even advocate for your brand.
So it's not just about selling comics, it's about building a tribe of passionate fans who are excited to be a part of your journey.
That's a great way to put it. It's about creating a movement around your brand and your passion.
And that's something that any business can learn from, no matter what they're selling.
Absolutely. These principles apply across industries, whether you're selling comic books, coffee, or coaching services.
It's all about connecting with your audience on a deeper level and creating an experience that goes beyond the transaction.
Exactly. And that's what sets truly successful businesses apart. They understand that people are craving connection, community, and a sense of belonging.
And that's what makes this deep dive so fascinating. We're not just talking about building websites, we're talking about building relationships.
And ultimately, that's what it's all about, creating meaningful connections with people who share our passions.
So as we wrap up this part of our exploration, I want to leave you with this thought. How can you apply these principles to your own online presence?
Think about the ways you can create a more engaging, interactive, and community-driven experience for your audience.
What can you do to foster a sense of belonging and make people feel like they're a part of something special?
These are the questions that can lead you to build a truly thriving online community that extends far beyond the screen.
It's amazing to think that something as seemingly simple as a comic book store website can offer so many valuable lessons about online engagement and community building.
It really is. And it just goes to show that no matter what industry you're in, the principles of creating a thriving online community, they're universal.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to circle back to something we talked about earlier, that idea of a blog as a secret weapon.
Yeah, it's such a powerful tool, and I think a lot of businesses overlook it.
I'm curious, what are some specific examples of content that comic book stores could create to really engage their audience and boost their SEO?
Well, think about the questions that comic book fans are always asking, like, what are the best comics for beginners? Or how do I get started with collecting?
Yeah, those are great starting points.
Exactly. You can create blog posts that answer those questions,
Yeah.
in a comprehensive and engaging way. You could even do video tutorials or podcasts that delve deeper into specific topics.
And don't forget reviews. Comic book fans are always looking for recommendations.
For sure. Reviews are a fantastic way to showcase your knowledge and your passion and help readers discover new titles they might enjoy.
You could even host online reading groups or book clubs where fans can discuss their favorite comics and share their thoughts.
I love that. It's all about creating those spaces where fans can connect and engage with each other.
And speaking of engagement, what about social media? How can comic book stores leverage platforms like Instagram and Twitter to build their community?
Social media is a fantastic way to connect with fans on a more informal level. You can use it to share behind-the-scenes content, announce new releases, and even run contests and giveaways.
And don't forget about the power of visuals. Comic book art is so vibrant and engaging, it's perfect for platforms like Instagram.
Absolutely. You can share, like, stunning cover art, character sketches, even fan art to create a really visually appealing feed that will draw people in.
You could even use social media to promote your online events and drive traffic back to your website.
Exactly. Social media is a really powerful tool for promoting your content and connecting with a wider audience.
So it sounds like the key takeaway here is that building a successful comic book store website, it's about more than just selling comics.
It's about creating a destination, a community hub, where fans can come to explore their passion, connect with others, and discover new worlds.
It's about creating an experience that goes beyond the transaction.
Exactly. It's about building relationships and fostering that sense of belonging.
And that's something that any business can aspire to no matter what they're selling.
Absolutely. These principles are universal.
So, dear listener, as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave you with a challenge.
Okay, I like it.
Think about your own online presence, whether it's your website, your social media, or even just the way you interact with people online.
How can you apply these principles to create a more engaging, community-driven experience?
How can you make people feel like they're part of something special?
Because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about, connecting with others, sharing our passions, and building something meaningful together.
So go out there and make it happen. And be sure to let us know how it goes.
We'd love to hear from you.
Until next time, keep diving deep.